Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our Red Short webinar. My name is Matt Widener. I'm a cyber engineer and analyst with Red Sky Alliance, and today we will be discussing the recent Log4j vulnerabilities and what, in our estimation, made them so dangerous. In January 2001, Log4j was released to the public. This software package provides application logging services for Java applications. And over the next 20 years, it would become one of the most ubiquitous logging packages used in the Java development community. Many large and popular software packages use it today. In June 2013, version 2.0 beta 7 was released. And this is the version that included a critical flaw that is the reason that we are talking about Log4j today. However, that flaw would not be discovered for another 7.5 years. Quite impressively, until 2021, Log4j had only accumulated 3 CVE vulnerabilities. In 2017 and 2019, each of those years saw a remote code execution deserialization vulnerability. And these were rather serious because they were easy to exploit and, if successful, gave the attacker the ability to run their own software tools on the affected system. Then in 2020, an improper certificate validation vulnerability popped up that made Log4j vulnerable to a man-in-the-middle attack. However, this vulnerability was less serious because it was more complex to execute and did not result in the remote code execution that we saw in previous vulnerabilities. And then in 2021, specifically on the afternoon of Friday, December 10th, IT professionals began receiving notifications about a new vulnerability. This is CVE 2021 44228. Other related vulnerabilities were found at the rate of approximately 1 per week for the rest of the month of December. And these are all remote code execution vulnerabilities. But what made these so dangerous? Let's take a look at those a little more in depth. Prevalence. So it turns out Log4j is embedded into a lot of applications and websites. And this is a short list of software products and websites that were proven to be vulnerable to the Log4j vulnerabilities that were detected in December. This list includes Apple, Tencent, Steam, Twitter, Cloudflare, Amazon, Tesla, numerous Apache products, including Struts, Redis, Elasticsearch, Logstash, Minecraft, Unifies network management application, Blender, which is a 3D modeling and animation package, Google, LinkedIn, numerous Cisco products, including the WebEx video conferencing product. And although not listed here, but they are listed on the CVE details website, numerous Cisco products, numerous Siemens products, including electrical grid operational software. And lastly, VMware vCenter. As you can see, there are a lot of big names on this list and a lot of popular software technologies that are widely used in the IT industry. And also with the Siemens products, some very critical technologies used in critical infrastructure. So what kind of access could be gained from exploiting these vulnerabilities? Again, they are known as remote code execution vulnerabilities. And in a nutshell, it would allow an attacker to gain shell access to a remote server, which you see an example of here. And with shell access, they can directly interact with the device, sending it operating system commands, upload custom tools, attack other connected systems or other systems on the internet, or steal data. The possibilities really are only limited by the attacker's imagination at this point with this level of access. One technique that has been observed in the past is for an attacker to install a backdoor and then return months later to perform additional actions on target, like installing ransomware. So another factor is the ease of exploitation and the fact that we were seeing active exploitation early on. So on December 10th, the day that the Log4j exploit was published, the first one, that 44228, a proof of concept program was already available, showing how the vulnerability could be exploited and providing a base for any attackers that wanted to exploit this to use. And once that proof of concept code is published publicly, it's extremely easy for an attacker to take that code and to quickly weaponize it. The proof of concept code also makes it easy for less sophisticated attackers to take advantage of the vulnerability, making it much easier for them to exploit than if they had to develop the code themselves. Also on that day, December 10th, organizations were already seeing signs of exploitation in the wild, including exploitation by nation-state actors. And it was expected that both nation-state actors and cybercriminal organizations would leverage this widespread vulnerability to gain initial access to a wide range of networks across the globe. And this increased the urgency of developing patches and patching quickly. So looking at the timing of the discovery of these vulnerabilities, the first one, CVE 44228, was discovered on a Thursday as a zero-day exploit, meaning there was no patch available to fix it. However, a patch was quickly developed and released on Friday. And anyone with any type of responsibility with patch management knows that Friday is probably the worst day to receive this kind of news, because that means teams are going to be working through the weekend to test the patch and make sure it's not going to break anything on production level systems, and then to continue on to deploy the patch to actually fix the flaw. And no one enjoys working overtime on the weekends. Also, notifications that day came late in the day and might have been missed by teams leaving for the weekend. Additionally, the month in December, at least in the US, is a time when many people will take time off of work to spend time with their family during the holidays, and this could have resulted in delayed patch deployment for some organizations. Also, the frequency of the discovery of those related follow-on vulnerabilities over the next several weeks contributed to the complexity of patching to protect against them. As with each new vulnerability, it became more and more necessary to wait for official vendor patches to gain complete protection without potentially breaking anything. And the most recent vulnerability was discovered on December 28th, just 3 days before the New Year holiday. So really, it was a perfect storm, almost, with all of those factors playing into the severity of these vulnerabilities. So let's look at detection and mitigation a little bit. There are tools available to help you discover where Log4j is deployed and if a vulnerable version is deployed there. The merge-based Log4j detector tool is available on GitHub to help IT teams do exactly that. Again, with the latest vulnerabilities, it's probably best to wait for upstream vendor patches to fix the issues. However, if you've got a vendor that's slow, or you've got a system that is an older version of a software that is not receiving updates anymore and you just can't update, there are tools available such as this one at the URL at the bottom of the slide. JD Ratliff, a GitHub user, has released a script named Log4j, which was originally designed to patch Elasticsearch and Logstash for the Log4j vulnerabilities. However, you can use that script as a template to as a basis to work out a script or a process to patch other systems. And we've actually used this this code to do exactly that. But make sure to do adequate testing on a non-production system before you try to use that script against anything in production. And that's all I have for today. I hope you enjoyed the material and found it useful. If you missed any of our previous RedShort webinars, you can find them at redskyalliance.org/redshorts. If you're not yet a member, please sign up on our portal. Your membership is free and it will give you access to a variety of Red Sky Alliance content. Please join us next week for another Red Short. Thanks.